not America. You don't care about celebrity. Why did Speed go to North Africa? How can you disrespect Algeria? Your hands were inside your pants. It is not personal. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sesike. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now, I've noticed that 90% of you have been watching this channel without subscribing. Can I ask you for a little favor to just click that subscribe button, turn on your post notification, and you will be notified every time there is a new video here. It's absolutely free of charge. Thank you so much. In this video, I'll be talking about what happened to Ishowspeed in Algeria and the opinions of people out there, regarding the incident that happened in Algeria. So Ishowspeed was in Algeria yesterday, judging from his real-time stream. I was watching it, and just 2 minutes from the time he started, he already hit like 49 millions on YouTube. That was massive. That was mad. He was so excited. Now, when he got out of the car and started moving around the streets of Algeria, the atmosphere wasn't really that much of a vibe like it was in Southern Africa. Now, this is just my opinion. You can also give your opinions if you were watching the stream. But what I saw is that the vibe was totally different from what it was in Southern Africa, in East Africa. There were a few people that were so happy to see him. They stopped for him. They said hi to him. And then I saw that in the area where there were black people, they were so excited. In fact, they held a conversation with him. You could see it in their faces, and one thing that really stood out for me is the lady. There was an old lady that stopped and really spoke to him. They had quite a solid conversation. I would say you can see that he was so happy, and she was so happy as well. Both of them were actually connecting, I would say. And then of course the children were also happy. They were going mad, like they're going Ishowspeed. They wanted to take a picture with him, and a number of young people as well. But the vibe was just off for me. It wasn't giving. It wasn't giving. In fact, something inside me was telling me, do they really like him? Because the vibe was off. Maybe it's because the people didn't know him or something, because then of course, like I say, there were young people that were so happy to see him, and they really just wanted to take pictures with him. If you are Algerian, this is just my opinion. And I also saw that there were a lot of Algerians online that were also just happy to see Speed in their country. Now, he went to the sports stadium where there was a soccer match happening there. Now, when he got to the sports stadium, so they started throwing bottles of water at him. I could hear somebody shouting, saying that it is the camera. That's why they were, throwing the bottles of water at him, that, they must put away the camera. And then I also saw that his hand was in his pants, inside the pants, while he was standing there. So those are the two things that I saw, like the two signs. So they started throwing bottles of water at him and his team, and then I could see that he really got mad, and then he decided to, leave. I could hear him say, no, I need to leave. These people don't like me here. These were not the exact words, but something in this line. So he was saying he needed to leave. He was walking out of the stadium, saying these people don't like me. Now, this is what the Algerians are saying about this. So most Algerian had apologized. I saw them in the comment sections on social media apologizing, saying that we love you, Speed, but forgive us. We apologize on behalf of those soccer fans that they do not like cameras, because some of them are criminals, or some of them have criminal records, and when somebody is taking videos of them, they feel threatened because they don't want the police to see them. Apparently, that is why they were reacting that way, that they don't like cameras. But my question is, that's a sports field, and obviously everybody has their phones on, everybody's taking pictures. There would be cameras as well, like for the media, and because it's a sport field, it's a public place where everybody can actually just take off their cameras and take videos. How come they didn't have an issue with those cameras? Or is it because the kind of cameras Speed and his team were carrying was the big cameras and stuff? Is that what triggered them? So that is what I was asking myself now, because even Speed himself was like, what? They're saying because of the camera, but a lot of people are there with their phones and their cameras, and it's a public event, the media is there, and they are angry because of my camera. So he didn't believe it as well. The Algerian people came through and said, oh, the people are called the ultras, and is it ultra or ultra, that these are the kind of people that are gangs, like they're soccer supporters, that they are also found in Europe and everywhere, that they are football fans. However, they are gangs or gang members, and some of them have like criminal records. That's why they're afraid of cameras. Now, other Algerian people came in and said, how can you disrespect Algeria? Your hands were inside your pants. That's why they were throwing water at you. There are these other set of people who are also Algerian who went on and said the reason why they were throwing water bottles at him is because he had his hands inside his pants, which is considered disrespectful. There are pictures and videos flying around social media, with his hands in his pants. So that is what they say. But what is the general public actually saying? So I'm just going to read to you the comments that I saw on Twitter. And the topic was hot last night. I'm sure it's still going on. So this one is saying, typical hooligans. They don't need reasons to hate. Low IQ society. The other person said the stupidity of fake news. So some people still think it's fake news, but there are videos out there. I don't know how people really just think something is fake when it's out there in the public. When something is out in the public, there's no way that you're going to target fake. I mean, it's out there in the public, so there's nothing fake about it. And then this one is saying, again, and as always, Morocco will save North Africans from themselves. So what other people are actually saying is that, why did Speed go to North Africa? That Northern Africa or Northern Africans are very, very racist. That is what they are saying, that it is just racism and nothing else. That's what people are saying. Like this one is saying, Algeria is a racist nation. 2014, the Cameroon player Albert Ebosso with stones in the stadium. So this is what this person is saying. And then the other people are saying, so apparently the Algerians in the stadium saw this as a big disrespectful gesture and went on him. So this one is showing a picture of him holding his hand in his pants. So they are saying that to Algerians this was so disrespectful, and that's why they started throwing bottles of water at him. Coming with the full camera crew and wondering why people don't want you there. Everywhere, not America, some places value privacy and don't care about celebrity or idol worship. So this one is saying that, how can you come with the full camera crew and expect not to be thrown bottles of water at you? That this is not America, that some places value their privacy and they don't care about celebrity, they don't worship idols. And then the other person is saying, so I guess the Arab side of Africa don't get into blacks. So this is still about racism anyways. And then this one is saying, well, you cannot film ultras without their permission. It is not personal. So other people have this opinion that it's not personal, it's not even racism. These people, the hooligans or the gang members who are also football supporters, you can't film them. Like, you can't come with your camera crew and start filming them. If you do that, they are going to hate on you, and it's not personal. So these other guys were saying, we want him about North Africa, but he's still forcing himself to them. Bro was received very well from South Africa to Ethiopia, but since the Egypt stream, things have changed. Did you guys, I didn't really watch the Egypt stream. Did you watch the Egypt stream? was anything of this sort happen? Like, did you see any negative vibe or, you know, bad energy and stuff? You know, sometimes you don't have to, again, these are opinions because we were not there, I was not there, but you can see when people are really happy to receive somebody and when people are really not happy to receive somebody. You know, like I said, when I watched that stream of Algeria, I just saw the energy was not there. It wasn't it. You know, the way he was received in South Africa, Angola, Botswana, and even Kenya and Ethiopia, it was totally different when he got to Algeria. So there was just that low energy. But like I said, he got his fans there as well. Like, the young people were so happy to see him. And then, of course, there were some old people that were really so kind, you know, and they were happy to see him as well. And then I also saw on social media where some people went on, like, when he was at the part of Algeria where the black people are, he was actually treated very well. And I also saw the video where he was interacting with these guys, with these black guys. And this one is saying, I'm not defending these fans, but when you go to a place, at least do a small research. Those fans are called ultra fans in football or soccer, and they hate cameras or medias. That is all. These same fans would react differently if they were out of the stadium. That, okay, so if he met these guys out of the stadium, it would have been different. Like, they don't like to be taken pictures of. Now, a lot of people, some of them were very angry, and then of course some people came at them, at Algerians, and said no, they're just racist, that it's just pure racism and they shouldn't, you know, make excuses about this. What do you think? Do you think they were being racist, or do you just think that, do you also know about these guys, the hooligans or the ultras or whatever they are called? Is it ultras or ultra? I'm speaking under correction here. If you know about it, tell me about it in the comment section. Anyways, later on, I saw that Speed is in Morocco and he's there for the AFCON as well. You know, he's streaming in Morocco right now. Here's what I think. Like I said, the energy was low when he got there. I didn't know about the ultras or this kind of fans or football fans that hate cameras. But I've learned something new. A lot of people, of course, are saying that it's racism. But literally, if this people don't like to be filmed, it could be that it was the camera that they saw, because Speed and the team were carrying really big cameras. And in the video you can see that they started throwing the water bottles when the guy lifted up his camera on top. That's when they started you know, throwing the water bottles. It's like they were down, and then Speed was at the top, and I saw the cameraman actually holding the camera like down, and then after that I see them, you know, throwing the water bottles. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched up to this point, you are the real MVP. My name is Sassy K. See you in the next video.